Klise. I was born in the Midwest, but I have lived over half of my life here in Missoula, Montana. I went to school here, went to high school, I went to the University of Montana as well. And yeah, I keep coming back because I love it here. It's a great community. I feel like I can draw inspiration from just about any place. The mountains are a big part of that, I would say. I would also have to mention that I love music and literature. So those are big sources of inspiration for me as well. And of course, other visual art. So I love traveling wherever I can find an interesting place to be. So luckily here in Missoula, we've got a great backyard for that kind of thing. You know, the West Coast, the Northwest is fun to travel to as well. I've been fortunate enough to have studied abroad in Switzerland. So that was a pretty fun stomping grounds to find myself in. So yeah, really anywhere I can find a place to make an adventure, you know, it's just about anywhere if you've got the right mindset, right? So. Well, I try to create a lot of things. For the purpose of this interview, I have created a Photoshop painting. That's kind of what I've dubbed it at this point. I collage a bunch of digital images that I collect when I'm out on my adventures, wherever I may be, and I then import those images into Photoshop. And after having done that, I collage them into some sort of composition. And then in order to blow them up to a scalable size where I don't have pixelated imagery, I actually take the Photoshop document and I vectorize it in Illustrator. And it winds up actually giving the final image an impressionistic aesthetic about it, ultimately. That's kind of how I would describe it. I was thinking about the concept of a merge when this art call came up, in the sense that I thought, wow, I've got this great composition in mind from this wonderful hike I had down outside of Darby in the Bitterroot Valley. And I'm pretty sure this image is actually, you've got a little bit of Trapper Peak perhaps in the background, and I think Sugarloaf Peak as well. And we were going up to Jim and Baker Lakes, and on the switchbacks up, we had this perfect view of the sunlight as the sun was beginning to set, just streaming through this valley. And I thought, wow, you know, that seems like metaphor to me for, you know, some sort of entity or some great spectacle to be had. You know, it's being illuminated in this moment. And so there was this emergence of a beautiful experience, and that's kind of how I connected it to you know, this exhibition and the conceptual theme behind it. So.
How have life experiences shaped you as an artist?
That could get really deep, quite honestly. I feel like we wear our experiences, you know, on us every day, whether we consciously recognize that or not, you know. I recently read a book, actually, by Michael Ondaatje called The English Patient. And there's this very profound passage. I don't know how I'm remembering this, but it was page 261, I'm pretty sure, if you wanted to reference it. But it's a beautiful metaphor, just very poetic prose, where the author goes into detail of how we are the people and the places that we have dove into, that we have climbed into as trees, you know. And I think that that's a really beautiful way of looking at how our experiences shape us. So. Don't give up. My advice for emerging artists is do not give up. It can be very difficult. I still feel as though I'm constantly climbing, and I'll always be climbing, but you know, good thing I like to climb. It's fun stuff. So I would say just first and foremost that, and just make sure that you remain in love with whatever it is that you're doing. You gotta stay passionate even when life gets you down. Sometimes you just gotta tell yourself, I've got to get up and move and do something. That can be hard at times, but that would be my advice. I saw a little blurb on, social media, and I had thought, wow, an outdoor gallery, I would love to be a part of that. Anywhere where I can find art outside of the, the stereotypical gallery setting, I think is great, because when we start to move work out of what may be seen as elite places, it really allows for us as a community to come around the work of art. And I love this idea of being able to share the work with everyone, I think it's just a wonderful thing. So. It's not really a side story, it's me, I guess, encouraging the creation of new stories, I want to encourage with this method of mine. I literally, I'm not kidding you, I take a phone, which most of us have in our pockets these days. I go and I snap a bunch of photos, and then I import that into a computer program, Photoshop. Yeah, you can literally snap everyday photos around you. And so long as you have the right mindset, you can create something beautiful. You can create a work of art out of whatever it may be, The biggest thing that you have to do is get out. You just got to start moving. And before you know it, you might have something that you have to immortalize the experience. Don't box yourself in. I think anyone can be an artist. It's just a matter of whether or not you allow yourself to see yourself in that light. Like I said, I could go on forever, and you would eventually hate me. No, I'm just kidding.